Okay, that should be me. I have no headphones in, so I can't test sound. Not the smartest. Okay, there we go. Okay. Ads. You need to start the stream 5 minutes early to get ads out of the way to start on time. Okay. We need to make this. Too easy to miss. It's going to be an annoying setup. Um, read me, read. Full tower. I need to. This. I'm thinking. Foundation. Going to create. Um, do this as the assembly, the what is that? Apply configurations from assembly. That does require an assembly. I don't like the fact that I've got to remember to do that. That feels like something that's going to trip me up. And if I don't do something about it, I'm going to end up with, why is my database not working time after time? What I'm considering is wrapping that up into the method and then saying, okay, we're going to use Postgres conventions, right? Which is fine. But then I need to pass that assembly down. If we tried this here, that didn't work. Yes, we did. We tried that in there and that didn't work. I think that is handled after this. I have no way of confirming that without deep diving into the innards of that code. In theory, because these configurations are applied, I technically don't need. They're all, yeah, they're all handled. Oh, so good morning. Yeah, I'm not saving myself anything. Need to get on with it. Okay, so we go back to control tower. Paste that. That. Vacation today. It just hits different. Also on vacation. Wow, that makes me sound like a real, real good leader. It feels like a vacation. Awesome. Um, okay, so this is control tower. Find the updated context. Now let's take that same thing. UDB context. And then okay. Stand ups for fun, then go play some VR for 8 hours. It's fine. Okay. Setting team planned out 40 to 50 stories for a new feature. Too much work to do that. Okay. Not the best way to handle that. One of the devs did all that. One of the devs planned out 40 to 50 stories. Then they said it's too much. Password. Uh, Obvious problem with stories over coding. Oh, it is it? We need CT admin as a permission. Dang it. Great database. Ugh. Um, yeah, it does the same. So because the dev sat down and did a bunch of stories, we were, we were everyone's like, that's too much work. But if a PR, is that what you're saying? That if a product owner did it, that be like, okay, that's 50 stories. We'll get to them when we can get to them. The more senior dev lead thinks of himself more as a coder. Feels familiar. That's hitting home a little bit, though. That is that's That's where most of my life is meant to be spent right now. Don't want to give up on that coding thing. Engineering managers shouldn't really. I mean, ultimately, engineering managers shouldn't be doing the Jira thing either. Engineering managers should be working with the product owners and product management to align, give estimates, give like t-shirt sizes um, on work, so that kind of plan for it and making sure that the requirements are there enough to meet to get to the teams. It makes the stories and scopes everything though. Product owners, product management, um, coordination. I mean, again, that engineering manager should be involved in those conversations, be collaboration, to make sure that things aren't too big. But ultimately, the stories when they're presented should still be flexible, right? It should still be able to be discussed. But the PL should know the system and they can work with an engineering manager, but the PL shouldn't. The engineering manager shouldn't be laying down the stories because they'll all be technical and they won't make sense to product. The engineering manager's laying down the stories, then they'll all be focused on what the team can achieve with code, not what the product needs. So I would question. I know these are the same user essentially, but I'm like, nice. They're all requirements based. There isn't enough time to break them down to something. And again, that's why I kind of focus on the giving the business what they need in terms of deliverables, breaking them down by requirements, and then focusing on the actual delivery at a task level rather than actually at a story level, so they all tie up together. That's kind of why I'm doing it this way, because I think that the product team should be laying down what they expect and how they expect it, and the development team should be doing the actual thing to get it there, and the engineering manager coordinator goals. Run. Good morning. How you doing? So we need to run this. This computer is running slow. Something is not right. What? Oh, require the do begin and pause. Does okay. Postgres is a weird language. I mean, let's go. What word would be handled? Been good. Thursday. You gone in realization that don't get to code today. This is my code for the day. Error role CTadmin does not exist. I just created CTadmin. Did I not? Did I not create CTadmin in that code back there then? Oh, no. No, you didn't create that in that code back there, did you? You're actually an idiot who's copy paste errors increasing. Friday Eve. That. That. CTM admin. CT. Oh, That looks healthier. Make sure we go back and fix that one. Oh, something is going very slow on my machine. It is lagging really badly. I think after stream, I'm going to have to get this restarted. Something is not healthy. Either that or something's leaking memory and it's finally. Memory 62%. Something. Rider taking up 6 gig. Go taking up 5.5 gig. WebStorm with 2. I mean, I'm not going to alleviate that much with this because I need 3 of them open. Actually, I don't need 3 open. I can do this for that one. Close that in there. That gives me back something. I've got this open for that piece. This is in deploy. How do I put that there? So, brain. No. We'll worry about that in a minute. That is the prereqs project. So to get this entire thing up and running, you need the prereqs to be able to configure all the scripts and stuff. So then this one we need to use this Postgres, that one. That will require another framework. Oh, now we're going to remove SQL Server from this one. Then we need relational to be included, otherwise Postgres won't work. Postgres holds a dependency on a 10. The others require 10.03. So if I don't pull 10 relational 10.3 in explicitly, things don't build. This is NP. Come on. Oh, that's the view. Descriptions needs the same behavior. Password. Again, not worried about people seeing that. It's not going to hurt me. I shouldn't keep saying that. I shouldn't say it's not going to hurt me when all that takes is for someone to try and test it. Oh, well, no. But I should be careful about that one. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm swapping out the SQL Server connection strings for the Postgres connection strings. I'm moving everything over to Postgres. Ultimately, I have the option of, keeping. If I need SQL Server for one thing, I can do that. I can put one thing on SQL Server, but we need the credentials on well. Good. user. Oh, this is fine. Again, I need to figure out some way of having Apple. Apple is not something I've used yet in Kafka. I need to learn more about securing Kafka as I go live. It's not going to, again, that is not going to cause me a problem right now. That's memorable. Okay, so we need to go into our configuration here and do the same framework. So do 10.3, move SQL Server. Oh, you're implicitly installed. Okay, that's fine. Because I've got a dependency in here. Where you reference? Are you implicitly SQL Server? Ah, because of outbox. Okay, we'll change that in a second. Postgres. So, anyone new to the stream, anyone wanting to ask any questions, you are more than welcome to. Right now, I'm going through the effort of trying to remove out SQL Server as a dependency to lower my potential costs and increase my chance of being able to deploy this to more than a box in my room here. TBD develop outbox Postgres. That work? Box. Outbox Postgres. I'm going to stick with Postgres for right this. Equal. They'll have to submit goals. Because you're not planning on doing. Those are the worst. You guys should get them. TBD. Did you SQL outbox? With password. OS. Why don't you like submitting goals, Dota? This is adding my mediator libraries and Kafka libraries for outbox. This means that I can everything over. Okay. Should be okay, right? With the right libraries. I have I don't know. I want them to just give me some more money, ever more money every year without any accountability. You must ask. No, no, I think it's perfectly reasonable. I think they're the ones being unreasonable. Okay, so the view does not use any there. The receivers will do. Packages, entity framework, call SQL. Ah, packages. That one. I think it's perfectly reasonable to just expect more money just because you sit there. Being unreasonable. You'd think I'd remember this port by now. I can remember 1433. I can't remember that. CT view, CT. Oh, we need the security on that. Setting description. We need, sadly, these need to be in both places. Ultimately, I'll probably figure out Kafka auth or something like that and move these settings up there and combine them at that time. Right now, what happens is when this all starts up, it uses this as the dictionary to pass through, so they have to be in there. Debating, do I go to the dev meetup tonight that's local? That hurt you, right? Yeah. They drive you insane. Possibly. Just saying, possibly. Yeah, conflict. You're likely to show that to them, that you don't like them. Okay, we're gonna test this. We're gonna see if this works. I think though that things are not correct here. I know, all upgraded. I did it. Okay, let's see what happens. Like, if you go and you don't like them, and you show them you don't like them by the way you talk to them, then it'll be less welcoming to you every single time. Because they'll be like, oh, this guy's here again. So, wow, okay, we'll pretend that worked. Yeah, right. You need to figure out. Oh, that didn't work. Boo, boo. That should have picked up the message from Kafka. Still might. Possible. Uh, Create an outbox. Could have created a. One of these should have created an outbox. I've got a feeling one of these is erroring. Yeah, there we go. Permission denied for schema public. So this is trying to create this outbox. So this is probably why. Apex, good morning. Not going isn't going to. I'm going to make that might be more. Regulars are hit and miss. Occasional, I often get along. Work the other way. I think I'm regular in a long time. Gotta figure out, you know, what are you there for, right? What do you want to get from it? Work. So I gave permissions. I gave all the regular permissions on CTM admin or CT admin. Yeah, you gotta. Um, this thing I struggle with those things is um, making small talk, just chatting about stuff and trying to figure out how to um, not talk about my stuff as a way to break the space because I don't like the silence, but pay attention to other people's stuff and that, a lot more. That's art form. Oh, you got to figure out, yeah, the balance, right? How do we differ? Why do we differ? What can we do to bridge that gap? So there's a permissions problem. So let's start. Wait, I think make forward progress. I was new. All back. Thank you very much. Both well. Currently trying to figure out how to get control tower up and running. Control tower is the backing CPU well. Get it? These are just let us go back to bed. Like Dota says, why do we need to do reviews, right? Or set goals? Give us more money. Let's just get on with stuff. Everyone will be happy. What I'm trying to figure out this second is, I don't think uh, well, there's no outbox on the. Right, that's just the goals. Somebody clip that. I'm also including myself in that, by the way. Pretty sure will not make you want to clip that. Oh, what am I doing here? Password. All set to CTR. CTR as, what do you do? Oh, there we go. CT subscription view. Oh, you know why? Because yeah, copied and pasted the 100 protections. It would be, um, yeah, pop the pop the role or whatever you call it. I've got to go find the script again. I put those things. File open. We can push DevOps patches. Awesome, awesome. So that's fine. Open. Liquid direct folder. That's that level. Docker. Ah, they're here. Okay. Where I failed here is I created my user, same password for now. That's fine. Then what I did is I copied and pasted this down here. So right database. But I did not select the right database when I ran the script. So I put the permissions on the wrong thing. So I need to go create the user again. Back here. Everything else requires a PR, major version, breaking change. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. All fine. Okay, so assume that that went. Okay. Then we should have a user. No. User. I've sent this off into a weird spiral now, haven't I? PG catalog. Sounds terrifying. Okay, let's just on CT view, we open this on CT view, then run that. Okay. This on description, that, and run that. Then if we check the permission of this one, yes, okay, there you go, that's better. Oh, LS identity. Oh. I have no access to identity. That's a mistake of me copying and pasting. If I drop the databases and recreate everything, I don't think it's going to let me. Error public permission IDC does not. Yeah, I know. I know what I'm trying to do. Translator, hello, how you doing? And call it house things. Okay, so that's doing that now. So this should now run because I put the permissions on the right databases. Had I run the script properly, those would have been created on the right databases. I should have just done the run all. It's safe to not delete. Let's see if these start now. Description. Points. Oh, we go. Oh. Fail, 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 fail. Plus. Kafka. Focus it out. I beg to. achieved. Well, there are precisely 3 stored procedures. Well, not completely opposed to using them at the right times. In this case, a search on the database for users. For instance, the outbox got created here. So this worked. And Kafka failed. Why did Kafka host 9? Let's go back. Oh, 1909. I remember. Had some quirks for that, didn't we? Also, they didn't move subscriptions receivers over, so that's going to have its own set of fun. Do, 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 do. Okay, so this one also needs to change. uh, framework for server. Relational. Oh wait. Postgres. Break. So for anyone just joining, I'm in the process of switching over the entire application stack to Postgres from SQL Server. Programming is only 20%. Of that. I mean, I'd agree. In software development, programming is a component of the job. um, yeah, programming is a component of the job. It's the whole job. Integration break now. It should do. That's fine. Close dependency out. Dependency. Start. Postgres. These two. Will be interesting to see where things are in 5 years' time when people have used a lot more AI to generate stuff. Will it be? Will everything just be ticking along and software will just be kind of a thing that people have and they don't know what it does? How will we retain the learning? People can just ask them to do it. How do you improve things? Actually doing the coding anymore. Machines have coded new stuff that now use code by the machines. and uh, flop is good enough because people don't know the difference between flop and well engineered. Testing realm we move in. Okay, the view receivers over here. I think I changed. That needs to be two. Heading in an interesting direction. Okay. Console. No red, no red, no red, no red. Yay, no red. Okay. Ah, red. Oh, we've still got one going to broker. I mean, I would imagine, just from past experience with business, that the more the AI can do, the more the developers are expected to deliver in the shorter amount of time with a higher quality. Which speed of everything. What am I missing? I'm missing one. 19092, 992, 992. Oh, or wood for trees. Okay. So if this all works properly, what should happen is the messages that I created from the tenants that I created on the other side get completed, the subscriptions get created back in here. All is good, all is well. This might cripple my. Huh. um, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting times. Uh-oh. 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 Things we should have done. That's going to be a problem. That might cause a problem. Oh no. So this failed to insert, which means those messages probably failed. So I probably missed here. Yes, I did miss that on subscriptions. So I missed a piece of code that said do the thing in the thing. Oh, come on. Why are you throwing it now? Gonna need a bigger machine. Not working. This is ridiculously slow. Subscriptions, give me context. Let's make of it. Which are context. Yes. I don't believe that the base class has anything. necessary. Just want to be good. Contact. Okay, so maybe this works now. Oh, it failed because it was trying to insert the record. My concern is that I might have missed the window on that. Well, that's interesting. Totally do that some more. Under. Everyone needs that. Eh? Console. Oh, that errored. No, it didn't. It actually did a query. Outputting massive query. Oh, that's working. So there's my tenant. There's a subscription. There's the subscription integration event. Event created. Subscription created. Yep, nice. Okay. So now, if we stop control tower because we have the processing 26 different services plus that. If we open up, try that again. Sorry for the bright white screen. Super user. Password. I'm in college at the moment. Programming class is now graded by 8. Source code is fed into it. They compile. Ugh. That's worrying. Especially as people, if teachers are being lazy enough to not read it, they're asking you to do more than using tools to grade it, then all it takes is smart ones to figure out how to game that system. Huh. Interesting world. That's not topic. I've got a feeling. Creation event. Is it processed it? Integration event. So application, subscribers, subscription, publish, subscription. Oh. I think the majority of the classes are absolute BS. Second semester, any ability to write a program from scratch. I think it's a bad path we head down if no one is learning how to actually um, it's a tenant subscription. Oh, there we go. There it is. There it is. There's the subscription. Okay, so this tenant subscription is now going to get processed when Liquid Sky starts up, and that will then create the subscription, which the login should. Says with great confidence, no evidence. Yeah, I think if we're just training people to use the machines, then the code it generates will never. You don't know how to check what it's doing. then the results can be horrible. Yesterday, this I'd have let Claude go at this, I would have ended up with a whole bunch of code I didn't need for checking to see if the columns were right format or the fields. It wouldn't have got that right, and I wouldn't have known any better once it did work that it had hacked together stuff. So, if I need a certified LLM user at this point, yeah, interesting. People tell us not to worry. People tell us not to be concerned. I personally feel that there'll be a need for people with experience to review these things, but we'll see. I'm not busy. I can actually talk. Mr. Anhorn, good morning. Hope you are well. So, is this working is the question. So, tenant subscription. Uh, uh, Carrying last few months. Yeah, you've been that busy. Tenant management. Damn it. Damn it, tenant management. You're not meant to end. Why are you ending? And view infrastructure receivers isn't either. So. And oh, can I create a DB set for this type is not included in the model for the no personal life. I live right in the middle of Minnesota where all the gotcha. Work could be really good. Good thing. um, it's worrying the students. So when I get stuck now, chat. So Claude, Copilot, etc., have replaced my Google. Right. Um, they're an opportunity to educate myself, which exactly how I was using Google before. So I don't see them as a problem. I think copying pasting what it tells you is the problem, not understanding what it's telling you. Problem. So, and if people aren't being trained those skills, then that's going to be larger. Because the tools can produce stuff. There's no doubt about it. You can get a working program with absolutely zero coding talent. What's it doing underneath? Well, when someone disagrees with the point I'm making, and they send me a screenshot from AI. uh, uh, was it tenant management that was actually failing? Tenant. So tenant management. Let's check the. This one is set up this way. Configuration, database configuration, use MPG SQL. Kafka configuration, SQL. Missions fine. Oh, hold on. No. Whoa. I think I've made a boo boo. Tenant management outbox, public tables. I'm missing a table. That's genuinely. I still use Bing and Daily Drive Edge with the Copilot so far into what I need to navigate. Yeah, I suppose I do still. I type it in. I type what I'm asking at the top, and then the Copilot search comes at the top of the search results. But still, results there. Um, again, trusting what it brings up is it, you know, without verification. I guess we're all gonna suffer that. It's the same thing as Googling it, right? You Googled it before and found the first thing that confirmed your thing, then you'd link to something. And again, just good people write something, they're right. Permission. I have permission there. I do not have permission here. So what I've done there is I'd added, um, I'd removed all the DB sets, and it would be consistent on username. Well, I and like configuration option builder.table. Believe that doesn't have an issue with that. I don't think I need to do that at all. I think figure that out itself. Try that again. Um, the Gandhi Civ myth. Yeah. Yes. Exact example of trusting down. Code samples. Well, she's Python. It's fine. It's the right language, right? The AI speaks in Python. I do use the Copilot app for my personal use. So much context into what I'm doing. It's really nice. Working on clients, other chats. So yesterday I was actually impressed because I was asking some questions in Copilot for work, and it was referencing because it is the work version. It has access to SharePoint, etc. And it was referencing docs in SharePoint. Oh yeah, this is all already covered in this piece of this handle here. So it already does have that integration. Bit scary. Um, um, I still doubt how much knowledge we have as to how much of that information is. But it's still errored. Okay, let's do it this way. I need to organize tenant management. Let's start this one. Well, I think we're close here, by the way. I think we are actually close to saying Postgres has replaced relation permission, doesn't it? Relation. I have to specify the table. I do that everywhere else. Planning, planning. Which, okay, it says it'll let me do it. Builder.table. Apparently, the Postgres um, driver will know the difference there. Okay. What? Okay. That one's fixed. This is going to be a big commit. A big PR, not big. The commit's already in the hundreds of files. Can't avoid that at this point. No point in trying to avoid that piece. Okay, I think the view receivers was the next one up. View receivers. What am I missing? Hello, how you doing? I've been wanting to stream so bad, but I just don't have the drive to do anything after work. But I built this story generator, really good role playing one. I like it for creating curated stories for me. Nice. Yeah, I mean, streaming is challenging if you've got a little time. Right now, I'm just trying to fit it in because I like the interaction, and I'm back to this is kind of my coding time, right? And sharpening my skill set a little bit. So, yeah. There we go. Okay, Mojo. Take care. In a bit. Yeah. I think view receivers was the other one that was breaking. Receivers view. So I'm having fun right now with moving from SQL Server to Postgres. There we go. Same problem. Same problem. I saw it immediately. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Context. Model crane. So this one, it will be there. That one is there. Hold on. Why? Go off on it. I mean, I'm not virtual. Yeah, that sounds cool. That one's cool, but yeah. I'm having fun moving from SQL Server to Postgres. Why usually? Yeah, so this is realistically just to change the database layer. I haven't had to change anything else. So I'm using Ardalis's specifications, which provide a light repository on top of Entity Framework, which means that I've got it abstracted far enough away that it isn't. It's the fact that I've got 95 projects to go through. 95 plus Whole Tower, another 18 in there to validate everything. That's the challenge. Not doing the work is relatively simple. I just keep missing things, as you do in these things. So why is that failing then? I saw the same error as before, but it's worrying. You receive it. Missions does not exist. So this is the background process. I'm using AF Core. Yeah. The only changes I've had to make in terms of raw SQL have been in the tenant search, where Postgres does not have stored procedures in the same way. So can't have optional parameters set in. You have to execute. And again, this is another one where I got led down the wrong path with AI. It does have store procs. It just doesn't do them in the same way. So it has functions if you're returning data, and store procs are for calling. So store procs execute stuff, and functions return stuff and do stuff. Right? Yeah. So there's like quirks like this where this in SQL Server, right, had exec virtual tenant parameter. That was it. So because it's a function that returns stuff, this is different behavior now. So that's how you call a function that returns values in Postgres. Table naming. So what I'm doing is I'm actually making it so that I can retain idiomatic Postgres. If you look at the SQL Server equivalent, right, the naming is very different because SQL Server tables and whatnot are there, but in Postgres have uh, lowercase, snake case, etc. Yeah. Um, I'd say a function could be almost like a view, but work entirely different. um, yeah, I have two. Yeah, in that case, what I'm doing there, yeah, a view would do the same thing, but the code would be identical, right? That is essentially a view. But I'm trying to use this, um, yeah, um, idiomatically. So I've ended up with configuration at the infrastructure level to apply snake case convention and make sure that it. And I also hit a problem with the design of my models because my domain model and my data entity are one in the same, which again is not a pattern I came up with. It is something that I've mimicked from um, other people. But it meant that the field exposed was not the right field for this, so I had to add in this property access mode, and then this snake case convention goes through and snake cases all the fields and adds them as the column names or the constraint names, etc. So it's more idiomatic for Postgres. I could have left it as is and made it all SQL Server style, but that's not really. I don't think that's what you should do because if people come along and write Postgres queries, um, it's going to break their brain if they have to use capital letters, a Pascal case naming. So that is what I've gone through. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how the heck I'm missing pieces on what's on this side. Permission. There's this permission piece should get device permission. That should use the device permission. Add user permissions advisor. Permissions advisor service. It's been failing since I did it. How could it possibly know which one to get? Oh, because I only have update DB context. Okay, I can only have update. Okay, that's fine. So it's update DB context that's the problem, and that has permissions. Do I have to create configuration for all these? Let's have a look. Permission. I think I'm going to get away from that naming convention because it's kind of useless. Builder.to table. So it's funny, the Postgres SQL driver will actually know that that's a lowercase. It will do that for me. But the columns and properties and whatnot, no, it won't do that automatically. I thought I saw something that said it does have a setting you can use, but I couldn't find it again when I went looking, so I implemented what I did. But again, once I've done this, any of those changes, it's just it's the routine of going through every single piece. Okay, let's see if that runs now. If that runs, I'm going to question why the others don't fail. And maybe they will when I actually have things to update. So we'll find out. Nope, relation permissions does not exist. What this piece is when the application starts up, I have my permissions, and whether this is good or bad, right or wrong, I don't know. I have user permissions in here. And this is just a big set of GUIDs with the permissions that are available to the application. So if I want to introduce a new permission, I add it into here. When projects that require permission knowledge start up, they have some code in them that says, go and update your permission. And I kind of have a method that feeds them this list, and they go and insert those into the relevant thing. Not the cleanest of things, but it does work, and they're set to automatically do it. So if I change one, it'll rename it. If I add one, it'll add it. If I delete one, it'll clear it out. It goes away, and that's just so each piece that needs it can. So identity, the identity component has that. The oh, this is why. Oh yes, that is why. Okay, remove that. These are explicit because they have. They don't need to be explicit. They have a relationship. So the update DB context pretty much relies upon the table name. However, I don't have the code for the Postgres stuff in here, which I should have seen instantly. So I need to do this, which I'm pretty certain has to come before this, because that sets it what mode it's in before it actually goes and builds things. And we need to do. So it's looking for permissions or permissions because it's lowercase permissions. Same thing here. Do that anyway. We wouldn't see that until afterwards when we actually get to querying. So that's why that didn't fail. Okay. And then see what this works. I should have host all of my services up and running. There we go. That looks off, yeah. So now in view, if I go to tables permissions, there's records in there because now that's populated off that list. And again, if I want to introduce permission, I update that set in the core, and now all the table, they'll all get updated by default, and they'll know about that permission when they start up. Is it the cleanest thing in the world? No, but it gives me something to work off of. So let's see if we can get a full app start. What happens next? Once I've got the Postgres stuff moved over, I need to go back to developing the application. If anyone is joining the stream and has not seen this before, if you are interested, I've decided to create a site that will allow me to show off some of what it does when I'm in these moments where it's not working. If everything starts. Is that real? There are really only 5 people in my stream list streaming. That's kind of crazy. Might have things working. Things might. I want to scare it. But everything looks like it's running. Okay, so let's give it a try. So control tower is required to acknowledge the tenant creation, and it creates a default subscription, which then gets sent back to the Liquid Sky component, and that registers the fact this person can now log in, right? So it requires that to work. And the idea there is that subscription management will allow us to current user is not authorized to access it. Well, that's just annoying, is it? Okay, let's have a look. Application, the cookies, the local storage. That should take me to a login screen. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Sign in. Oh, hello. Which are you? What am I doing? Copy string contents. Oh, and 4D01. Oh, hold on. That might be part of the problem. This is saying it is Jeffrey. Jeffrey doesn't have permission. It's very important when you're doing this sort of stuff to verify that problems are because of um, genuine failures versus 4D01. Okay, that's the right user. That tenant is correct. User permissions here for that tenant, 4D01, yep. So LS identity, have it. Where I'd have permissions, user permission. And that's why. Okay. So I have a missing component somewhere where when I create the tenant, the permissions aren't replicating through. Now, again, this could be a development process. So what I need to do is wipe it all out again, right? Clean it all out, rebuild all the databases, scratch, all the permissions so that everything's fresh, then create my users again and validate that everything starts up properly. Because what should have happened there is when those permissions were created, it should have published, hey, this user was created with these permissions, and it should have published that message out to the wider system. And roll ads are on, run ad break to disable them. Yeah, I know, because you keep warning me about that. Fine. Super user. So topics, tenant users, topics, users. This event, one of these events, should have organization's user permission. Yeah. So this, oh, that's the top. Ah, okay. There you go. That's why. Okay. So that event, I've got a naming convention flash somewhere because I clearly have this was created and this is the one I created by hand. So yeah. So the concept there is the organization permissions are attached once the license is registered, and then you can log in. So yeah, okay. I've got some stuff to fix there, but yeah. Hey, seems people don't stream anymore. People do not stream. But we're going to go raid Beegs again because Beegs is the only dev streamer I see in my list streaming. Anyone ever has other streamers you want to go, we can go support. Always open to suggestions. But I will be back tomorrow. No, I will not. I'll be back on Monday now. Again, if you are new to the stream, if you want to hang out and talk about software development, if you want to ask questions about this project or others, you're more than welcome to join the Discord. It's linked in the cards below. But yeah, so this is me for this week. I will be back on Monday with hopefully more app development stuff rather than infrastructure pieces. Yeah, but thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Yeah, we'll catch you again soon. Take care, all.